Imagine you wake up one morning and you find yourself married to someone you have never met before. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But that is exactly what happens in the story. My name is Patience. Welcome to Etanalog. The morning sun slipped through the curtains of a beautiful bedroom. Everything was quiet. A young man lay asleep on a large white bed, his breathing slow as he turned from one side to the other. Then he felt something. A warm hand gently rested on his chest. Still half asleep, he smiled faintly, thinking he was dreaming. But the hand didn't disappear. It slowly wrapped around him. His eyes opened. For a second, everything was blurry. Then his vision became clear, and his heart almost stopped. A beautiful young woman was lying right beside him, hugging him. Divine quickly pulled himself away and sat upright on the bed. His eyes widened in shock. He looked around the room. The bedroom was unlike anything he had ever seen before. The walls were spotless. The furniture looked expensive. The air conditioner hummed softly. The decorations looked like something only rich people could afford. Divine's breathing became heavier. What? He looked down at himself. He wasn't wearing the old clothes he remembered. He slowly looked back at the woman. She stretched gently before opening her eyes. The moment she saw him sitting up, she smiled warmly. "Good morning, honey," she said softly. "You woke up early today." Divine stared at her. His lips parted, but no words came out. The woman frowned. "Honey!" Divine finally found his voice. "Honey!" He pointed at himself. "Who are you?" The smile on her face slowly faded. "What? Who are you?" Divine repeated. "And why are you calling me honey?" The woman blinked several times before laughing. "You almost scared me." She playfully touched his shoulder. "That joke wasn't funny." Divine immediately moved away. "I'm not joking." His voice trembled. "I have never seen you before in my life." The woman froze. For the first time, she looked at him carefully. "Divine." Her smile disappeared. "Are you okay?" He shook his head. "No, I'm not okay." He looked around the room again. "Where am I?" The woman frowned. "What do you mean, where are you?" "I mean exactly what I said. Where am I? What is this place? How did I get here?" The woman slowly sat up on the bed. A worried look appeared on her face. She reached for his forehead. "Do you have a fever?" Divine pulled away immediately. "Don't touch me." The words hit her harder than he expected. Her hand slowly dropped. She looked hurt, very hurt. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Divine climbed out of the bed. His legs felt weak. He walked around the room, looking at everything. Nothing looked familiar. Nothing. His heart pounded inside his chest. "This doesn't make any sense," he whispered to himself. Then suddenly, images flashed through his mind. Dust, broken blocks, an unfinished building, a torn mattress on the cold floor, his empty stomach, the sound of mosquitoes buzzing through the night. He remembered arriving in Lagos with only a small traveling bag. He had come with one purpose: to hustle, to make enough money to change his family's life. His father had died years ago. Back home, his mother was struggling to feed the family. His two younger sisters depended on him. Every day, he reminded himself that he couldn't fail. The last thing he remembered, he had fallen asleep inside that unfinished building after another long day of searching for work. That was it. That was the last memory. Nothing else. So how did he end up here? Divine looked down at his trembling hands. Then he slowly raised his head and looked around the luxurious bedroom once again. One question echoed inside his mind. What happened to me? Divine slowly walked out of the bedroom. His legs still felt weak. Every step made his heart beat faster. The house was even more beautiful than the bedroom. The living room was spacious. Expensive furniture filled every corner. A large television hung on the wall. Everything looked neat. Everything looked lived in. As he slowly walked around, his eyes stopped on something. A framed photograph. He picked it up. His hands immediately began to shake. It was him, standing beside the same woman. Both of them were smiling brightly, dressed in beautiful wedding clothes. Behind them, family and friends were clapping. Divine's breathing became heavy. "No," he whispered. "This can't be." He quickly placed the picture back. Then another one caught his attention. It was another photograph. This time, they were sitting together on a beach. Another one showed them laughing while eating at a restaurant. Another showed them celebrating a birthday. Every picture told the same story. They looked like a happy couple. A real couple. Divine slowly stepped backward. This isn't possible. His eyes wandered around the living room. Almost every corner had a picture of both of them together. He held his head. I don't understand. Then he noticed a phone resting on a small table. His heart skipped a beat. He quickly picked it up. The screen lit up immediately, and his hands froze. The wallpaper showed him, and the same woman smiling into the camera, her head resting gently on his shoulder. He unlocked the phone. His breathing became louder. He opened the gallery. Hundreds of pictures. Hundreds. Picture after picture showed him and Hannah together. Some were selfies. Some were videos. Some were taken during vacations. Some showed them cooking together. Some showed them laughing, so hard they could barely stand. Divine's hands shook so badly that he almost dropped the phone. No, this isn't real. Then he kept scrolling. Suddenly he stopped. His eyes widened. His mother, his two younger sisters. There they were, smiling, healthy, happy. In one picture, his mother hugged him tightly while Hannah stood beside them, smiling. In another, his sisters laughed as Hannah served them food. Another showed all of them taking a family selfie. Divine stared at the screen for several long seconds. His chest tightened. If this isn't real, he whispered, then why are they here? His thoughts were interrupted by Hannah's voice. Divine. He quickly turned around. She was standing near the dining table. She had already served breakfast. I made your favorite. Her smile was small this time. Not because she wasn't happy. Because she was worried. She watched him carefully. You haven't eaten anything. Divine looked at the food, then at Hannah, then back at the phone. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to believe. Hannah slowly walked closer. Please, talk to me. What happened? You've never behaved like this before. There was fear in her eyes now. Not fear of him. Fear for him. She wanted to understand, but she couldn't. Neither of them could. Divine slowly placed the phone on the table. His mind raced. Maybe none of this is real. His eyes slowly widened. A dream, he whispered. This has to be a dream. He remembered something he had once heard. People said that when you were dreaming, there were ways to find out. He immediately raised both hands. One by one, he counted his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stared at them. Everything looked normal. He counted again. Still 5. His heartbeat became faster. No. He pinched himself. Pain. Real pain. He slapped his own face. Smack. The sting spread across his cheek. He winced. Hannah gasped. Divine. She rushed toward him. What are you doing? He ignored her. This isn't enough. He closed one eye, opened it again, jumped once, took a deep breath. Everything remained exactly the same. The house, the furniture, the pictures. Hannah. Nothing disappeared. Nothing changed. Divine slowly lowered his hands. His face turned pale. His lips trembled. If this isn't a dream, he looked at Hannah with fear filling his eyes. Then what is it? Divine stood silently in the living room. His mind refused to accept what his eyes were seeing. If this wasn't a dream, then what was it? Another thought suddenly entered his mind. His eyes slowly turned toward Hannah. What if she isn't human? His heart skipped a beat. What if she's some kind of spirit? Maybe I'm trapped in another world. Maybe everyone here is pretending everything is normal because they know I don't belong here. The more he thought about it, the more frightened he became. He quickly forced himself to stay calm. No, he whispered to himself. If she's really a spirit, she must never know that I know. He immediately changed his expression. When Hannah looked at him, he forced a weak smile. There you are, Hannah said gently. Come and eat before the food gets cold. Divine slowly walked to the dining table. Although he smiled on the outside, inside his heart was beating so fast that he could almost hear it. He sat down but refused to touch the food. Hannah pulled out a chair beside him. Please eat. I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten since morning. I'm fine. No, you're not. Her voice was soft, but full of concern. She looked into his eyes. I don't know what's happening to you, but seeing you like this is hurting me. She gently held his hand. Please, just eat a little. Divine looked at her. For a moment, she didn't look like a monster. She looked like a woman, who genuinely cared about her husband. Still, his imagination refused to stop. What if spirits can pretend too? Hannah smiled again. Please. After several seconds, Divine finally nodded. He picked up a spoon. Slowly, he took one bite. The moment the food touched his tongue, his eyes widened. It was unbelievably delicious. The rich flavor filled his mouth. He had never tasted food like this before. Without realizing it, he took another bite. Then another. Before long, the plate was empty. Hannah couldn't help smiling. I knew you'd like it. Divine looked at the empty plate. For a moment, he almost forgot everything. Later that afternoon, while Hannah was busy in another room, Divine quietly picked up his phone. He searched for one contact. Mum. His fingers trembled as he pressed the call button. After a few rings, my son. His mother's cheerful voice came through. How are you? Divine's eyes became watery. Mum, there is something very wrong. His mother immediately became serious. What happened? Divine took a deep breath. Then, he began telling her everything. He told her about waking up in a strange house, about the woman who claimed to be his wife, about the pictures, about how he remembered sleeping in an unfinished building before everything changed. Silence filled the call. Finally, his mother spoke. My son, what are you talking about? I don't know either. His voice cracked. I don't understand anything. Mom, I need to see you. We have to talk face to face. Please. There was desperation in his voice. His mother could hear it. All right, she replied softly. I'll come and see you. Divine quickly interrupted. Mum, I don't even know where you live. The other end of the call became completely silent. His mother stopped breathing for a moment. You don't know where I live? Divine slowly shook his head. No. His mother's heart began racing. Now she knew something was truly wrong. My son, I'll come tomorrow. We'll figure this out together. But, Divine quickly added, please come when Hannah has gone to work. I don't want her to know. His mother hesitated before answering. All right. The call ended. The next few days became even stranger. Every morning, Hannah continued treating Divine with love and kindness. She tried talking to him. She asked him what was wrong. She begged him to tell her what was bothering him. But every time, he avoided the conversation. At night, she wanted to be close to her husband, just as married couples normally would. She would move closer to him in bed. She would hold his hand. She would rest her head on his shoulder. But Divine would gently move away each time. Not because he hated her, but because fear still controlled his heart. Hannah never became angry. Instead, she became more worried. She wondered if she had done something wrong, or if her husband was silently suffering through something he couldn't explain. She remained patient, even though each day became harder than the last. The following morning, Hannah left for work. As soon as her car disappeared down the road, there was a knock at the door. Divine rushed over and opened it. Mom! His mother immediately embraced him. She could already see the fear written all over his face. The two of them sat inside the living room. Taking a deep breath, Divine told her everything once again, from the very beginning. The last thing he remembered was sleeping inside an unfinished building after another day of searching for work in Lagos. Then waking up here. His mother listened without interrupting. When he finally finished, she slowly reached out and placed her hand on his forehead. Her eyes filled with worry. She looked at her son for a long moment. Then she quietly whispered, could this be memory loss? If this story touched you, drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters here. And if you want part 2, just type part 2 below. Subscribe and stay with us. More stories are coming.